Hi and welcome to Rainy Day Crafting. Okay, I'm still a little bit on the Valentine's theme or love theme, or, because obviously although it's Valentine's coming up, you can make a card to just tell someone you love them for any reason whatsoever, can't you? Anyway, what I've done earlier, I want to show you this. I do love it when I get a bargain. I do go in that Poundland store quite a bit. Now this I picked up in there a couple of days ago. It's white card, although it's saying it's white card, if I'm honest. I'm trying to think what I've got here that's white beside me. It's more creamy, if I'm honest. But saying that, it's 200 grams, so it's quite thick. 30 sheets in here, obviously for £1. But for blending purposes, it's beautiful. It's almost like, like the watercolour pads you buy. So obviously you do it on the smooth side, but here's some that I just literally picked up some of my distressed oxides, and this was one big sheet and coloured that, and I don't know how well you can see, but that's blended beautifully. Anyway, just want to show you that and share that with you, because I love to share, tips, because so 30 sheets for £1 is pretty impressive, isn't it? So yeah, I'm right impressed, so much so I might have to go and buy, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 of these to keep in my stock, because that might be something they just, only have in now and don't have them again. Who knows? Because sometimes I think they do possibly buy up stock. I don't know. But anyway, because it doesn't actually say that Poundland on it. Anyway, this is where, but it brings me to, this is just a regular heart die, okay. Size-wise, there's no particular brand. For my 5.5, so decent size. But what I want to say, you can, which some I've done earlier, that this is out of that cardstock actually. You can just run it through your machine and it will cut out this. Yep, so you've got your hearts like that. But what I want to explain, you might already know this, if you don't, I'm telling you how it's like eggs, apologies. This is just running it through on a piece of acetate, which brings me to what I'm now doing today. Oh, just to say too, running that through the machine, the 2 of these, and there was something else I've done, I think. Oh yeah, the coloured version. Lovely, isn't it? Running through, this created all these little hearts. So don't pop them in the bin. I did think afterwards I probably could have kept all the beige ones together and then all the coloured ones together. But anyway, you could pop them in a shaker card. But anyway, keep a little tub or something, and they'll be very useful for something else. I personally love hearts, full stop. So where I'm going with that is basically, yes, that's just cutting out your regular die, which cuts out lovely. I did it through my big shot. I know I could have showed you, but sometimes it's because this is all in live time, if that makes sense. So I don't like to keep you on it forever, because hopefully you'll keep coming back then. Okay, so anyway, this is running it through some acetate. Okay, so today's card we're going to do, I've just cut some more of that paper. So I'm putting some of that heart acetate on there. And then this again is just, I was going to run out. Have we got another one handy? Hang on. Don't know if I have actually. It's going to run out on me, isn't it? Well, anyway, fingers crossed that will stick there. Yeah, there's not going to be much sticky on that, is it? Because it's hang on, if I just try and do it on the very edge with a bit of luck. I could fairly easily get another one, but I don't totally, in my stock buckety thing, I don't know exactly where it is, so fingers crossed this doesn't muck up. So anyway, piece of acetate, stick it down with whatever sticky tape works. I mean, that's nothing like using it to the very end, is there? Do you know what? It's surprising, it's still got a bit of sticky, so I don't only want to just hold it down in place. So there you go. That's being really frugal. That's absolutely using it till the end. So now I have got 3 of my, just obviously see, because I've done one earlier, and I shall show you that in a minute. The 3 I've just picked 3 colours that I think go lovely together. Picked raspberry, shaded lilac, and spun sugar. Do you know, my husband bought me another set. I think I've got 4 sets of them, like sets of 12, I think it is, 10 or 12. I had them for Christmas or birthday presents, and do you know, they're still sitting on the side waiting to have their names put on and put on my rack. Anyway, right, this is where I want to show you these blending brushes. You know, I've got daubers, which are very good as well, which daubers would do it, but these blending brushes are pretty impressive too. So this one's quite juicy, so let's just sort of start that off there. And all I'm doing, see how you can, I tend to normally put this down on something else, but hope you can see. Okay, change over. This one is so juicy. I have to be so careful. Always have, another tip, have baby wipes at the ready. Right, so this is the picked raspberry, which, remember, when it blends into each other, it will change slightly what we're doing. I don't want that to move from where. Yep, there we go. Just blended in that one a little bit. Now I might come back to one of those. Now I'm going to go over to the spun sugar, which is a much lighter one. But again, it blends in with the others a little bit. I'd say these brushes are lovely how they work. Just put a little bit maybe here, then I'll come back with one of the other colours. Oh, see, you know, you don't have to have these colours if you've got other colours. If you've got some of these distressed oxides, do whatever colours you like. I have got a Facebook page, only sort of recently. Well, I did set one up, and then I wanted it to be that people could join if they wanted to, because some of you might already know I am a psychic as well, and that gets really, by the pages I work with that, you get lots of trolls on there, you know. Oh, I spend so much time trying to sort of offload them again. So I thought I definitely wanted a group that was going to be totally only people that really want to be doing the crafts. But the idea of the group, I mean, there's other groups do it too. I'm not, you know, reinventing the wheel or anything, but I would love it to be. And somebody's already shared, Donna, shout out to Donna, already shared some of her makes. She was inspired by a couple of the cards I've done and sort of done something different with it, which is lovely. So it's a group that I feel that, you know, people can hopefully feel safe in and put what they've done on, you know, because sometimes it's okay, you know, have I done it? What do you think, you know, because sometimes it takes years of sort of doing this to sort of not perfect the art, but, you know, sometimes other people's tips are brilliant. Anyway, back to the card. So that's Rainy Day Crafting. I'm going to worry about this sticking too much because I've just about had it anyway. So then, if I was not now doing this for this, I would probably leave it to dry, then take it off. But I just love it when you then do this, because it's just like, you know, the big reveal in a way, isn't it? So there we go. Let's have a little look. And then this will just wash out, you know, and a bit of water on it. Sorted. Okay, I did a mark on there, but that doesn't matter because look at that. Don't you think that's absolutely gorgeous? And you've got the real good basis of a card, haven't you? So I want to show you the one I did earlier that I mucked up just a little bit. So I shall then still pop them into the card, because this will now, as far as I'm concerned, need to dry. Okay, so you can cut it down onto a smaller card, you know, where that is, or if I'd have made it so I'd masked it up differently, you could have had it so it had the colours on the edge, you know, play. So here's one I did earlier, and can you see, I masked it down just the same, but, you know, okay, the same but different, aren't they? I don't think you'll ever sort of do two that'll be the same, will you? But here, the acetate wasn't done down ever so well, so it moved slightly. But where I want to go with that is, look, I've got a die out. This is just some stitched dies. I plan to cut that out, say, there. I think it was there where I was looking at, in such a way that it misses the mucked up bit. Okay, you probably have got slightly different colours, so let me just show you with my big shop. I know there's these sort of circuits and things like that on the market, but I love my Big Shot. I've got no affiliation with Sizzix or anything like that. So basically this is going in here, preferably sort of miss where that mucked up. I might even just sort of put it a bit more over to that side. Top plate on. I tend, won't particularly matter, but I tend to put something else on top. More so if it was going sort of like neat onto your card, because then it doesn't muck up your card stock or anything. Okay, so that's gone through there, I think. Sometimes I do that and don't do it far enough. Definitely have a little bit of a workout with those. I've got it on a shelf under my table that works really well for me. So there we have, can you see, done. So you can sort of see where it'll impression onto the paper anyway. So it probably saves your plates just a little bit. That bit could even use that as a strip for something else possibly. I am a little bit of a squirrel who keeps hanging on to things. So now the cardstock I'm going to use today is this side. So look. So this is the, oh, just to show you what it is. These come from Hobbycraft, 50 pack. A6 size, sorry, and they are 250, so they're nice sort of sturdy stock, and obviously lovely envelopes to go with it. So the plan is popping this onto there. So yeah, and then I could have then done for cutting out purposes. Maybe I'll just end up doing this card, but can you sort of see how if you then was to maybe cut that same one out there, you'd get a different effect again, wouldn't you? Or if you were now doing some of these colours, yeah, how you can then cut that to size and pop that on there. You'd have to cut down obviously so it would make it fit, but look at that colouring. Or change it around again. This is where you play and see what you like best. But look at that. It's sort of, yeah, you know, it's mainly pink with a little bit of hint of green, almost like a touch of orange there. So you can make some really pretty cards, okay? So, you know, it's almost like the world's your oyster. Now, earlier, I just want to show you two, getting ready for this. Do you know what? There's a story behind this. This little With Love, I think, was actually one of the first dies I ever bought. So it's sort of a bit nostalgic. I mean, 'cause I haven't been doing this ever so many years. I'm trying to think probably how many, maybe 5, because obviously we had lockdown as well, didn't we? So I really got into it. But that's just that die, which is quite lovely. Now, what I've already done just to save time, I've cut out 3. All right, now what I'd recommend to do, either put that on the card. Like I say, I now could sort of fiddle and make all these cards up. I'll just see how I go for time. I might make another one. So if I'm putting this one, say, on here, just want to make sure it fits okay. You know, it seems as if I've cut that on the wonk a little bit. Just want to make sure one of them totally fits as it needs to. It's quite lovely, isn't it, just for a change? But I think probably with that, to make sure it fits properly, I'd be tempted, oh, no time like the present, just, I don't know if that'll cut both of them out. Because I think if I was to cut this now, other than if I reinforced this, because I think they might cut these a bit strange. So do you know what? I'm going to give it a go. Well, now that'll be a new one for me now, as to whether this will work properly or not. Then we'll just finish those cards. So back out with right. So I'm doing this one hand because I don't want this other thing to move particularly. Might not cut through them both. I'm sure it will because she's a sturdy old bus. If not, that could make a really good impression on the other one, which will then... This is where you have to be careful. because it can move. Obviously, if you feel happier, tape it down or something. Okay. I should tend to think once they're squashed down, they aren't going very far, are they? You just don't want to be on the haptic. So fingers crossed. This will it have cut through? Like I say, it's a new one for me, putting two together. But I want to sort of just save time on here, really, and like the great reveal. Let's have a little look. Hey, oh, I do believe we've done all right. Aha! Because like I say, if I'd have just cut that through with the cutter, that probably would have mucked up. So yes, so that can be done. There we are. It's a totally new one to me. Might keep that for something, not sure. So, a couple of cards in the making here. This one at this colour, which is really rather lovely, isn't it? Which I'll need to stick down. Could just get away with something like that. And where's the other one I've cut here? This one's here, which I had then done also some more coordinating, because I think sometimes be careful you don't put too many colours, you know, try and sort of blend colours, but sometimes, you know, it's trying to get, you know, if you're using, I don't know, greens, try and sort of do a few greens or whatever colours you're using, because sometimes, like this is exactly the same pink out of here, where you could have a totally different pink and wouldn't look so good. I think you know what I mean. Anyway, where that little muck up was, I was thinking that could be raised up on there, okay, for example, and then let's pop them out of the way. If I show you where they come from, I could now show you how to cut that out, but it's pretty straightforward. If I just show you this is a tonic one. I do believe got it from Craft Stash. It might have been when they had sort of like their bargains selling off different things. So I do love a bargain, but it's the first time I've actually used it. But it is rather lovely. So it comes as the two dies, yeah, which I then coloured up some coordinating paper, and then the white sort of card. So you literally put that one through the coordinating paper and that through the white or cream, what you're using, and then make, so you can obviously not necessarily need to use that if you don't want. It's not much good for anything else, is it? But if you just wanted to put just the words on there too, but I think that'll finish that off. So see, that's too, do you think it's too many colours? I don't think it is, actually. So where my with love is, little trick if you want to build them up. So I'm flipping between two cards now, aren't I? What you do is just literally pop some glue, cut them out 2 or 3 times, because it sort of makes them pop on the card. So then if you're using these little glue bottles or something, a bit of glue where it's going to go. But before I'd put it on the card, generally, if I was putting a few together, if you use this sort of glue, it allows you to sort of manoeuvre it and pop it together. Okay, so let's pop another one on. So then you just put a bit more glue. You could build this up to loads, whatever die, you know, if you wanted sort of to then pop off your card more. Okay, I think I put enough on there. I think with glue, it's about having enough, because there's nothing worse than potentially it goes to the recipient and something falls off. My son, you know, bless, he's one of my best critics, in a good way, because I'd got a camper van one that I then got out of my stash for my husband, because it's his birthday the other day. And my son then said, well, that's on the wonk. I was using up some old maps. You might have already seen it on there. It's on there. And my son, what was that? The camper van's on the... it's not exactly on the lines on how the map was. So I do try and keep it right. So there. That's quite nice on there. This one, again, I would do with the glue. Put enough on, but not too much. This is why these glue bottles are absolute little godsend. And when you fill, you fill them up. I just fill them up from my other bigger bottles, and they last ages, funny enough. But I suppose you're putting, not a huge amount of glue on, are you? But it's enough. But then put it down with something heavy. I often use a book or acrylic block on the top. So let's just turn this one over, put that one there, line it up where it's going to go. You see, and that would then hold that down there beautifully. Now with the cards, let's have a look. So that one's probably nice and dry now. Double-sided tape. On the back, could do glue as well. I often do. Sticky scissors. Somebody said about this, I'm now trying it. Oh, maybe I have to practice with my picky tool. Well, I think it probably is easier. Right. Make sure you line it up. Generally, if you're using double-sided tape, for example, take some of it off. Don't take it all off. Put some glue in as well. Okay, maybe even down the edges. Because the glue, when you're putting it on your card, will allow you to move a little bit. So, to line up these, can you see this? These pearlized cards, really lovely. Obviously, you can make your own, can't you? Oh, there you see. There we go. Keep it as central as it needs to be. And again, it's all about letting it dry. Now you see there, I think that's quite lovely. I'd be tempted, which I'm now going to do, pop that up a bit, but that would cover up that little mess that's there. Let's just put a bit there. Here's a little another bit there, maybe a little bit in there. So this ain't going nowhere. Oh, no, I have to cut them in half. Right. And there. Positioning, make sure you position nicely, because I say this every time, I know. This takes no prisoners if you get it in the wrong place. And it's static as well. Anyway, so 2 cards today. But if you haven't got, obviously you haven't got these dies or anything like that, don't you worry, because so it's hanging over both sides of that a little bit. That's right. But look in your stash, see what you've got, and if you fancy uploading something of a similar nature onto my page, that'll be, my my rainy day crafting page. I'd love to see. So this one now, this is where it's going to be a bit awkward to definitely put something heavy on this to make sure it sticks from one to the other. Okay, I might just sort of show you, and then I'll stick it in a minute once I've finished doing the video. Okay, because you know how to stick something down, but weight it down is the way forward. So anyway, I've learned a new trick today by cutting that with the die too. Perfect. that's going to go on there somewhere. And let's just see, you know, double-sided tape, where are you? Just do this. And this. I've got one of them guns that are quite good. I think I just need sorting because it's not run out. But I forget. Still think there's a little bit of a technique to it because that's not. Oh, I don't know why I don't want to come out. Right, rather than save time, let's have a look. So that's going to go on there. Pre-cut card. Do you know what? Let's just bit of glue. See, it's pulling up the whole thing for some reason. There we go. One. Make sure you get your hearts up. Make sure your cards open the right way. Nice and central to the card. Okay, then a bit of glue on here. I think I'll just pop that. Just as it is. I reckon just in the middle would be nice. Bit different from being pink, 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 pink. And red, red, red. Okay, so, ooh, look at that, I'll have to stick that down in a minute. That's the edge there, so remember when we cut it out with that other die. So, 2 cards there. Till the next time, thank you very much for joining me. See you very soon. Cheers then.